Hi everybody, good morning. Welcome to yet another stream here on a Monday. Good morning, afternoon, whatever it happens to be for you. Glad that so many people are here and have joined me. Thank you guys for coming to hang out. I see Papagilu's already, he's made it here on time this time. Ragnar, I see you're here as well. Avi, Kartok. It's evening over in Dubai. I'm just having my second coffee of the morning. I'm trying to get woken up. Dr. Wheel Tickle. Fly Mr. Spectre. Chuporaki. Welcome everybody. Thank you guys all for coming to join. It's the afternoon in the UK already? I guess that would make sense, yeah. Danny, thank you for coming to hang out for a little bit. Thank you guys. So today we're going to be, I had a bit of a flash. I'm going to jump over to what we were working on last time. And actually I don't have the original. I should have opened up, I'll pull it up actually really fast here off screen. deeprella.com. Hopefully I can find their login because it's in the wrong language. Okay. So I'm working on a clone for Diprella. Diprella login. And here we found, I got it. So let me get you my screen now. There we go. So we're trying to recreate this, and the cool thing with this whole thing is this switching over effect that it does, like that. And there's a lot of different things going on here, and a few of the things I want to try today, I don't know if they'd actually work for the bigger picture. But I had a bit of a flash for these animations and transitions that are happening, that we do have grid that can be animated now. And I don't know how far support has come along. I know that Chrome is adding support. I'm assuming it's in Canary, but maybe it's not. We'll check it out after. As we do this, we can see if it works in Chrome. And Safari probably isn't there yet, but that's okay. We're still gonna play with it because I like playing with new CSS stuff. Thank you for the follow, everybody who's been following along lately. Thank you guys, and a big thank you to, let me pull this up, Lucky Ducky Gamer for the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much. That was 11 hours ago, so thank you for the offline sub right there. A lot more people in here. Patrick, Chickers, Dev, Manish, Stefan, welcome. Welcome back. Avi, what programming languages do I know? It depends on how well you mean. Thanks for the stretch. Mizman, if you guys want to save up your points, you can save them up and put them toward the community challenge, which you'll probably be able to hit by the end of today, I'm guessing. Maybe the next stream. Just actually a bit of housekeeping before we get started. This stream will probably be a little shorter than usual, and I'll probably be missing this Thursday's stream once again. We're at 95% of the way there for the community challenge. We'll definitely hit it today. So yeah, I'm going to probably not have one this Thursday again either. And then hopefully by next week we can be back to the regularly scheduled twice a week. The ones I'm most comfortable with, Avi, would be HTML and CSS. JavaScript I can get my way around with. I used to know PHP a bit more, but I haven't used it in a long time. I used to make some, or I've made a handful of WordPress, what are they called, child themes. So I sort of dove into PHP for a while, but it was also like the WordPress flavored PHP primarily. I wasn't learning, well, I learned enough PHP to be able to get into the WordPress stuff, and then I was really focused on that. And I made my own theme, and then I just said this is a lot of work when I can just make child themes and focus more on other parts, but you had to know enough to sort of get around. But I haven't touched that in years now, so I wouldn't want to look at that again, really. I've dabbled in Python a little bit too, but that's been a long time now too. But I think HTML, CSS, and JavaScript would be, with CSS being number one. Easily. Brent, welcome. Good morning. You made it on time this morning. Tuhodak Killer? I used to do design work, yeah. I taught design as well. Mostly layout, like page layout was my thing. I worked in print for a few years. or 5 years. That was a long time ago now. But yeah. So yeah, we're going to be taking a look at getting grid animations and what we can do with them to try and do this, and that's going to present us with some issues potentially along the way, just because I have this as my H1, and then when we do it, like, that's going to have to be the H1, so I'm going to have to find out a little bit about different ways we can sort of cheat that. So I think I was going to be doing a bit more JavaScript in this one, which I haven't done. I haven't written any JavaScript in a while, I'll be honest, just because I've been so focused on my course and my YouTube stuff lately. I haven't had to. Actually, it's a bit of a lie. I've been doing a bit of stuff with 11T, so I sort of dabble and play around there, but I haven't written any really deep stuff in a while. And I was thinking we might have to do some, well, not deep, it's not that complicated what we'd be doing here. But then when I got the idea of using and animating grid template areas, or grid template columns, I guess is what we'll be animating here. We're gonna have to make a button that has, I have to make, this is one button, so it's kind of interesting that I'm not actually sure the best way to treat that button, because that's the only thing, when we switch between different states here, the only thing that's consistent between both states is the button that sticks around. So I guess that would just get a toggle on it. Stefan, yeah, I'm really enjoying 11E. I wanted, once I'm completely finished and I can relax a little bit from CSS Demystified, I plan on diving really heavily into 11E. I haven't used Electron, no, Abby. Walton, welcome. So if we go, and I've done a bunch of stuff already, obviously. Let's go to what I have. I have this. So I'm cloning it, but you know, things are a little bit different, obviously, but we're trying to get as close as we can. I didn't get the colors. I'm not sure with the grid template areas how the background's going to work. There's a few things here I've never tried. I haven't even really played with animating grid templates before, so, but I think it's pretty straightforward from what I've seen. So I'm just thinking, I have to make some changes to this entire thing on how I set it up if I'm going to do this, I think. Do I? Or here, the way I had okay, I had a section which was my one of us. So I have this as a section of content. I have my sign up as a section. And then I had this, but I commented out because we weren't using it. But I guess I don't need to change my HTML. I thought we were going to have to. So I want a login section here as well. So what I'm going to do for now is copy this. And I know it's a bad idea to have two H1s. And I'm going to find, I mean, we could always use the display hidden at one point, but I don't really want it, or display none, I mean, at one point. I don't know if, can you have two H1s and have an area hidden on one of them? Like, is that a bad idea? Because I might just like area hidden in like the area that's visual, like this whole thing when it's not that, and then switch it over and make this one area hidden when it's that one that's hiding. I'm honestly not sure if that's a terrible idea or not. So this one should say, let's just set up the text really fast. I'm not going to worry about the form as much right now. I just want to get my animations working for today. Log in to your account. Log in using social networks, so it shouldn't be sign up. Whoops. There we go. We have the 3 of them, we have our divider, and then we just have the 2. I'm just going to leave it with the 4 for now. As I said, I'm not too worried about this. Actually, that's interesting, eh? When you want to create... oh, yeah, okay. That makes sense. Never mind. So we might have, like, there's duplicate IDs and stuff going on here. I'm not stressing about that. So my main I had originally said display flex. That's going to become a display grid, which should break things. Good. Well, good. This I think we can keep the same. Kaya, hi there. Welcome back. Spectre? I'll call you Spectre. Anywhere to grab some PDF templates to practice. I was using Front-End Mentor. I did that on a previous stream. Front-End Mentor. And someone else brought another one up too, which I forget. But I like Front-End Mentor a lot. They give you from easy to intermediate, junior, newbie, different levels to practice stuff. And there's another one as well that I can't think of. To Hodakila. I didn't design this, so don't. But where you could try and check out my Discord, and oh, we hit the community challenge, everybody. We made it. So we'll be doing that maybe next week. We'll be looking, and I'll have to come up with a new community challenge eventually as well. Yeah, the Fiverr is very random. You get some good designers and some bad designers, so it depends a little bit. You could also do, yeah, I mean, there's a few good designers in the Discord. You can see if anybody's looking for work. The big Dave, can't you have spans in H1s which you can switch between? Make H2 for the second. I mean, the problem is, like, if you look at the original site, it's actually two different URLs even. But like, if you're on this state, this should be the title of the page. Like, this is the title, and if you're on this one, this should be. If you do it as an H2, technically speaking, what's happening is that, like, your H1 is, your H1 is still, like, if this was my H1 and I made this one an H2, what's happening then is that it's almost like a chapter books. Like, the title of my book would be create a free account, and then chapter 1 would be log into your account. And I do think that's, like, if you're not sure about semantic HTML when it comes to heading levels, at least, heading levels, just think of it like chapters and subchapters of, like, a scientific thing. H1 is the book. That's the title that's on the front of the book. And then when you get inside the book, you have all your different chapters. But, like, if you're looking at, like, a textbook or something like that, you have a chapter and then you have subchapters. So all the chapters are H2s. Then H3s are, like, the subsections inside the H2. And then an H4 would be a section inside of there, and, like, the further nesting that you get and all of that. Ragnar, all the design. I think they might have a few designers. I'm not sure. I mean, it's just for practice, right? I don't remember if anyone knows the other one. There is another one that's like Front-End Mentor that has designs too. Avi, I'll have another community challenge, so you can keep saving them up and drop them all in the next one. So yeah, maybe I'll just do a display none. If they're under different URLs, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter, but we do need this animation to happen. So I'm just trying to think the best way to be able to do it while I'm on the same one. Because they're just updating this, like, with JavaScript, right? You're not actually refreshing the page or anything. Hi there, Virus. How you doing? All right, so we'll go back to mine. So my display grid gives me that. And now I just need to do grid template columns. And I want 3, so like whenever I'm doing a grid, if I'm not too sure on the sizes that I want, I like doing just 3 equal ones, and then I'll sort of play around with it a little bit. Now the idea would be this one would be 0 pixels, which I think we're gonna have overflow. Oh, look at, where'd the content go? Do I have something that has an overflow hidden? Where'd my content go? Oh, it's behind the background? It is behind the background, okay. So, like, if I switch this one to 1FR, and I make the last one 0, not 0FR, 0 pixels, now we'll see the content? Yeah, okay. Now we see the content spilling over. So, for now, let's just put them all back to 1. I did come up with this selector. So this is my main that's getting the 3 columns. And then here what I did is I had the selector where all the direct children of my main are flex items, just because I want to be able to center things. And at the same time then, we could put an overflow of hidden. So if one of them ends up being 0 pixels, it doesn't... That's not... Well, I mean, there's a way... Right. right, where is it? Body, overflow, X, hidden. There we go. Overflow X hidden on the body is something you can do without worrying too much and get away with. It's something that's pretty common. We did run into issues with it on the last project, but eventually we got there. The big Davik, that would work too, with a higher Z index instead of doing an overflow hidden, you're right. Because one nice thing with grid and flex, and you see it less with flex because flex items don't usually overlap, but grid items you'll often, nice thing with grid is it's easy to get them to overlap. So let's just turn that off, and I'll set that up again, just so we can see 0 pixels. So here this is overlapping on the top, and then if I went on the middle one, which was my one of us, what did I call that? Login, what's my next section? Login, switch state. It's right here, switch state. If I put a Z index on this, it's gonna come in front. Or not. What? Why? Oh, I put a period here. Z index of 10. It comes in front. Even though I don't have a position or anything on there, because normally you need position other than static to be able to use Z index, but if you're a grid or flex item, you don't need to. Z index becomes available to you as soon as you're a grid or flex item. And again, flex items, I don't use it very often. Well, this is a flex item. No, it's not. It's a flex parent. It's a grid item. So because it's a grid item, I can do it. And grid tends to get more overlapping than flex. So that's another option. Both, the overflow hidden or this. I don't think there's or you could even do both, just to be safe. Lil Saf, you just started the course. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Walton wants to be a flex item. Ragnar, I'm trying to remember. I know we were talking about those 0 height rows. In this case, I want to do it. And just so you know, like before I accidentally put 0 FR and it didn't really do anything, or 0, you can see like 0 FR is still going to have content in it, or it's still going to have some size, versus having it, and we can't see it all because of the Z index messing things up here. But just know that 0 FR is a little bit different than something that's actually 0 pixels. Stefan, grid column template can be animated. It can be. It's been in Firefox for a while and it's been added to Chrome. And we're going to find out today if it's in production Chrome or if it's only in Canary. I didn't look it up ahead of time. So let's go and we need to add a JavaScript file here. Let's make a new file. We'll just call it main.js. And we'll go and link it up. Oh, whoops. Script src is main.js. I'm not going to do anything too fancy right now. Oh, I made this a link originally because it was switching URLs, but maybe I should actually make it a button. Whatever, it doesn't really matter for the time being though. But now we're sort of treating it more like a button. So we need to select it though. I don't remember what I called it. I just did class button. Let's do, I could do like an area label on it. Not an area label, a data attribute to select it instead of a class. Just so it's really something specific that we're doing something with it, because the class isn't actually going to be used to style it at all. Or I could even say, there's different ways you can get stuff in JavaScript, right? So I could do const switch state is, or switch state btn is equal to, let's just stretch this out for now. Document.query selector. And I could do my switch state btn. You can do, I think I did it like that, right? I think it makes sense to have a data attribute or something like that if you're going to be, but whatever. I'm going to be lazy for now. That would work, right? I set that up properly. I have my class btn, which is inside of switch state, yeah. So that should work, and select that button. And then all I want to do here is Chrome was the first on grid transition? Firefox has had it for a while now. Alright, did I get it the wrong way around? Was it originally in Chrome and then Firefox added it recently? Lil Saf Big. No, you don't have to just really quickly, you don't have to submit if you're in CSS Demystified. If you want to get feedback on stuff, you can post it in the Discord though. And I'm trying to keep up to date there. Spectre, I usually use Firefox because I'm usually writing CSS. If I was doing more JavaScript, I would be using, like, I don't even have React DevTools installed in Firefox, I don't think, or if I do, I don't use it. I've used it a lot in Chrome though. Is it here, oh, I do have it in here too. I must have needed it for something, but because if I'm primarily doing CSS, I'm primarily in Firefox because their DevTools are still a lot better for CSS. But for other things, I might jump into Chrome. And then you test it and everything, right? So let's see, what do I want to do? Switch state button, add event listener. I'm so used to writing CSS and I don't get these big lines here of code. Add event listener, what do we want to do? We want to listen for a click, and when somebody clicks on it, we're gonna have to do more than this. I just want to get the animation to work right now. So when someone clicks, we're gonna do a function. And I'm going to do it here, and we can always refactor this later to pull the function out, just to make this a little bit better. But for now, we're just going to do it right here. Let's just make sure it's working. Console log, hello. So if we pull up my console. Whoops, I went somewhere. Oh, I had that. Uh-oh. Okay, let's go fix that. Where do I have it going? Really? Okay, let's actually make this a button then, because I think I'm going to treat it more like a button anyway. Oh, I was clicking the wrong one anyway. I wanted to be clicking this one. There we go. Hello. So it's working. We're getting it there. It's come up 11 times. Every time I click on it, we can see that it is working. So what do we want to do when we click on it? For now, I think the easiest thing to do is actually to select my entire main. So I would have const main, I don't like just main like that, main content is equal to document.query selector main, whoops, main. And then what I'm going to do is main content class list toggle, and we'll toggle. I'm just doing this so we can actually make sure my animations are working. We'll toggle login. And you could even have this like go on the body instead of onto the main content. There's different ways you could, or even on the root. It doesn't have to be on the main content, depending on how you want to get this set up. But right now I'm just going for easy wins. I want to make sure that this is actually going to work. So anytime we do that, it should be toggling the class on and off. So, and login might not be the best class name to have for that. And then again, this could be something where it's a data attribute instead. But a class sort of makes sense here because I'm actually getting things to change. Like my CSS is styling around it, but it could be a data attribute that we're changing around instead. Login's a terrible class name, but anyway, switch state dot login. Actually, no, sorry, I'm gonna keep this here. Login. And if you wanted to be really specific here, like this is even where if I was using a data attribute, we could do it here. Data attribute is equal to, and put like login. So we could set it up that way to make it really obvious what we're on. Or there's other approaches too, or we could just say main login. So actually the main login will be this one. And that means the other one would be a 0 pixels here and a 1 FR here. And so it should switch. There we go. When I click, it switches back and forth. So it's just my grid templates switching around. We're going 0 pixels on one side to 0 pixels on the other side. So that's cool. And now what we can do is I don't know what performance is on this, transition, transition, grid, template, columns, I guess. How long is it going to take? Let's just say 300 milliseconds ease in, out. Oh no, it's not working. Why not? Oh, do I need to update something? Discord is down? Sorry, just checking the chat really quickly. Yeah, Firefox is better for now, but that could change in the future. The Discord is free to join. Yeah, if I kept that as a link, I definitely want the prevent default on there. But I was clicking on the wrong one too, so that didn't help. The Streamlabs link is wrong. Both of those links should work. The Streamlabs one should work, but Shuffle would be maybe a better one. I'm playing. I thought you could do. Oh, can I not? Can I not do it because I'm using FRs here? I thought as long as you had. Okay, let's just try it with 100 pixels, and then we'll keep. And then this one will be 100 pixels. Let's just see what happens now. So there, it is animating. So can we not animate with FRs? What if it was a percentage instead? So I could say here is, say 70% and 0. I might have switched the numbers up here. Can I do it between those? And then this one becomes 70, 0. I think I mixed these up. 70%. That works. Cool, that's way too fast. I did notice one problem here. See how the content is shifting around like crazy? Because what's happening is the area for the content is getting smaller, so it's trying to squeeze into that, and it's getting all screwed up. I didn't think of that ahead of time. Slow that down a little, though. Yeah, that content moving around is a disaster. I never thought, that sucks. And that's when an idea that you think is good just falls apart completely. I mean, that sucks, because that would have been really fun if we could have done that, and I just wasn't even contemplating. I mean, it makes sense. Now that I see it, I'm like, why didn't I think of that? And the other option... Overflow hidden. In this case, it's not overflowing yet. So that won't do anything. White space, no wrap. It's still not, it's not wrapping at... Oh yeah, the middle part. So even, okay, so this could... That would actually require an animation. You're right, Ragnar. Like the middle part in theirs, what they did is they did it so it got bigger and then like it pushes. Actually, you know what? Because the way their text is moving around, we might be able to prevent this problem from happening, even if we keep the solution. Because they're moving their whole thing. We'll see. If whoops. I'm just trying to see how that works. It's sort of. So it's not. It doesn't look like it's pushing. It looks like the text is going underneath as that other thing expands and then shrinks. So here, I guess I have to do it as a 30% and a 30... I might have to run an animation, and then we're going to have to play with this a little bit. Because we could do an at keyframes, switch state, switch state. I'm in CSS, we'll stay with the kebab case. And so we'd say 0% is this. Then we want, let's just stretch this out for a sec. 0% is that, 50% I'm guessing, and then 100%. And what do we want to do? Prettier is going to screw this all up, but that's okay. We want 70 to 30. Because my over... Okay, again, this is where we just try and get things to work and then you try and make them good afterward. I think I actually need more states in here. I think I need like a 25 and a 75. I might not, but my initial thought is that I'd probably need that because I need... Okay, this one finishes at the 70 here, 70% and 0 pixels. I guess I could just do percentages everywhere just to be more consistent. So if we did it like that, 70, then like here, the middle state, this should probably be like close to 70. This is going to be harder than I thought. It grows, then it starts moving across, and then it grows, moves across, shrinks. Grows, moves across, shrinks. This would have been easier if I wasn't doing it. Like if I was just animating this by itself. And use positioning or something to do it, or translates. It almost looks like, because of the way the background's working though, I know it could just be a background attachment fixed, and they're actually moving a div, but it almost makes me think that they're using a clip path or something like that instead. Pro Evits, you can force the width of the parent of the form, then use overflow and width to avoid. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to do. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some stuff on the forms to prevent them from shrinking away. Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. That's where when you get stuck on. And actually, I sent my newsletter that I sent out this past weekend is get things working and then like go for the easy wins first. Get some momentum going, get things going the right way. And then actually my next one's going to be about fixing things afterward, because you get the easy wins. I think I might make a mess of this, but at least I'll get it working. And then after that, you come in and actually make it work properly. I'm a little bit worried about how this animation's going to roll. I almost feel like I wish... Okay, actually, what if I always keep the middle one as 1FR? Which just means it's using up all the available space. Because I think that way it's handling that. I don't know if this is going to work. But if I do that as 1FR the whole way through, instead of using percentages. Like in this case, 1FR is 30% anyway, because this is 70, that's 0, there's 30% left. So if I just start worrying about shrinking and growing other things, so right now I want to keep this one at 0, but I want this one to start shrinking away. So like this can go down to 35, so it's halfway gone. Then this gets down to 0, but maybe this one starts growing, so this one's up to 35%. Let's just make them all percentages to be consistent. And then this one is going to be 0 the rest of the way. Maybe or maybe this is at like 10. And 10. And then it goes to 0, and this one's at... And I might not even need this one then, right? Do I need that one? Maybe I don't need that one there. But anyway, I'm putting them in. 35%, and then 70%. And then... So that's my finished state. And this isn't really going to matter too much. Yeah, I can't use the toggle. I'm gonna have to add and remove. I'm gonna have to have like I could have two classes actually and just switch between them. Or again, I could use a data attribute. But when we add the login, we want to do an animation, which is switch state 1000 milliseconds. He's in. He's in. He's out. He's in. I don't know. We'll play with that. So it's switch state 1000. That should work. And I want it. If I do that, let's just take a look. It's gonna sort of work. And oh my goodness, what happened? That's hilarious. My keyframes suck. But at least it's working. And the reason it's resetting afterwards is because whenever you run an animation, that animation, when the animation's finished, it goes back to the original state. So I can do a forwards on this, which means when you get to the end, stay there. So now it's gonna go that way. There's no animation that direction yet. And then when I do it that way, it clunkily moves across. At least I know that 1FR thing works. So I can leave that middle one definitely as 1FR. What if I just take these out then? 'Cause not quite. Is that my ease that's screwing it up? Or is it my... That's so funny. It actually was better. Oh, it's doing an ease between each one. Okay, it's already better if I just do that. It's not quite the style that I was going for, but it's already better. But this is where, see here, like, as soon as this is actually, I might want to, I don't want this one to start growing in right away. I want this to start pushing, and then it goes, which is why I wanted the 20, now that I did linear actually, maybe I can turn these back on, and maybe it won't be so disgusting. That's a little bit better. Okay. Anyway, it's a little bit better. So next thing I would do. So that's okay. The next thing I want to do is be able to make it work the other way around. So let's say create. So what we could say is main.create is the same thing, but it's going to be... Do you have to do... Is it... I know we have reverse that we can... My VS Code just froze. Okay, there we go. Reverse. All iterations of the animation are played in the reverse direction. But if you do a reverse... Let's put the reverse on this one just really fast. If you do the reverse, does it keep the end state? Oh, it does? Okay. So we can do that. So we have a forwards. I wasn't sure if we needed something else to keep it at that state afterward. I mean, it's not the best way to do it. Is it? Use an ease in out. Ease in. Oh, that makes... I'm still a bit worried about what it's going to look like. Yeah. Because it's speeding up and then slowing down, and then like it's speeds up, slows down, and then gets to here, and then it speeds up, slows down, gets to here. So the linear, we might have to play with our values and just get it to work with a linear. Thank you, Walton. Caparino, yeah, I'm going to work on the forms to stop them from shrinking once I get this to work. I don't want to make this too complicated. Because we could do... I mean, I'm not going to overthink it. I just want to get it working and looking cool. Can you toggle two classes at once? Or do I have to make another class list toggle? Because I could do... oh wait, but that's not... Do I have to do it like an if statement here? You can chain toggles, or I can do a replace. I'm just thinking, like, the first time the page loads, I don't want the animation to run. So it's almost like the first time it loads, there's nothing. And then... So I'd have to check to see if there's a class. And if there is, like, I would... Here, like, you could set it up differently depending on which URL the person ends up at. But I'm just thinking... I mean, for now, I'm overthinking it. Let's just do toggle. We can fix it again after. Easy wins to start with, right? What did I call it? Create? Did I not call it create? Oh, am I getting both of them at the same time? Okay, 1 second. Class is equal to create. And this is where, when page loads, like if I refresh, we get an animation, which sucks. You don't want that to happen. Oh, and it's still, now it's just broken completely. What? Create. Create login. Create login. It's not toggling. Oh, wait. They're not allowed. Okay. That's why it's not working. Class list replace class. So should we okay, so let's do that's fine, Ragnar, no problem. If I'm doing a replace, I should use class name. Would it make a difference if you use class name or class list if you're doing a replace? Lilsa, not JavaScript. We're keeping the JavaScript simple. Because, I mean, realistically, we'd want to have nothing, right? Okay, for now, I'm going to start... Well, okay, we'll do that. Class name. Replace. I have to check, though. I would have to... Right? I'd have to check first, because we need to... I need to say... If main content class list contains... if it contains, let's say, the other one, what was it? Because I'm doing it one way and then back the other way, so I'd have to do this, right? Since I'm not doing... Okay, if main content class list contains... What am I looking for? If it contains... create... Oh, okay, so we can use class list. So if we do this, and I guess it's okay, like even if it does replace the whole thing. Whoops. 1 second. Does that make sense, guys? And I don't even need to run an else. Oh, right, replace create, comma, with login. And then would the easiest thing here to do, just to do a return, and then we could just do the other thing after, so we don't even need an else statement. Is that a bad idea? It's going back and forth at least, so I know the classes are working, but my animations have died. So that's a login, and if I click there, it goes to create. So we know it's working. But now I have no animations. Is it because I'm using the same animation? So like if I look on this, if I refresh the page, it's doing the animation. And then if I click on that, it has the same animation on it. So is it not running it again? There's probably a better way of doing this even with vanilla JavaScript. But I mean, that is the advantage of things like Vue and React and all of those, right? Like state management. But if I'm adding the new class, like if you add a class to something, it should run the next. Let me just try one thing here. I'm just going to test this. Create login is switch state. Yeah, you need a different animation for the two directions. That's kind of annoying, but it's because the main is already did that animation, and I've told it that once you finish that animation that you're stopping there. So then when even though the class is switching, it's the same animation name that's on it. So I don't think it's running the animation again. Whereas here, if I have a different animation for each state, then it runs between the two of them. So because it's doing one, then it's removing that animation, adding a new one, so then it runs the other one. Oh, for sure, Avi, awesome question. I would definitely have the prefers reduced motion down at the bottom here. Prefers reduced motion. I think these ones give the... Where's the... I was hoping for the... Where's the one? I just like copying and pasting. I have it somewhere else. If anyone has the link to the... Or actually, I think it is this one that has it. No, it's not. Oh, it is. Okay. No. Come on. There it is. We just want to turn all the animations off on everything. So I'm actually going to put no preference here, preference, just so I don't have to go into my settings. So if it's not, if somebody has prefers reduce motion on, it's just going to switch back and forth. So it doesn't, it will still move things. It's still, it's just, there won't be an animation that makes it happen. There's no active movement. It's just switching from one place to another. And like that, you can never get around, because even if you're switching to a different website, so say you go from one page to another, the page has to load in. So like there are going to be things that change, and I think it's fine if things change. And that's why things like this are good. But we'll put that back to reduce. So if somebody prefers reduce motion, the animation won't run. It just switches between the start and the end. And if not, we can sort of go between the two of them. Dark mode would be, I'm not going to do it now, but at media prefers, isn't it prefers here? I forget what the dark mode one is. I don't. Media query dark mode. reverse color scheme. There we go. So you can do a light and a dark and change your colors. I'm not going to switch that on this one. Okay, so let's see. It's almost 10 o'clock already. I can't do much longer today. I said it would be a short one at the beginning. But at least we got that working. I think what I'm going to try and do next is prevent my forms from disappearing. Now, one way, I don't know if this is going to work. I have them all set up here, right? My switch state's the middle. What if I did? I have my login and I have my sign up. And they're going to need some different things on each one of them. And actually, oh no, I'm doing the class on the main, so that's fine. I can sort of play around with some stuff on them. But if I take my login and my... I have no memory this morning. Login and sign up. I don't know if this is going to work at all, but I'm just trying to think. I could definitely just set a width on them that would prevent issue, like, what if I did a width of max content, what's going to happen? It just breaks it completely. Okay. But see how it does stop, well, I mean it breaks things because of how it's working. Min width. I don't want to, if I set a min width of 20 rem, just for fun. It still shrinks a lot. That sort of works better, right? But now I do need to toggle the display properties and stuff because you can see it's spilling out the side. But let's go look at theirs for a second. If I'm on a big screen, it's also sliding that way. But what if it's on a... How do they manage that? Are they... If I'm on a small screen, it's just doing that. That's kind of annoying. Because if I set a width, I don't want to set a width. I don't want to have to use JavaScript to get their width when the animation runs and set it to prevent it from changing, because that sounds really crappy. And like I don't want to use positioning absolute on them, because I do want, like, if you see here, well, not so much this one, but if I'm looking at this one, like now we're at 4 columns, and that, like, it needs to react to the space that it has around it to be responsive. And at one point they do stack on top of each other too, which I think I did. Oh no, I didn't do the stacking. That's okay. I think I had it with my flex, and now I broke everything. Or yeah, we won't see it there, but it's just... Actually, let's try it. Min... I mean, I think the min width is the best way to go, I guess. I just don't know... You still get like a little bit of that stretch or thing going on, which I would prefer not to happen. The other option, I'm just trying to think, like, it's almost like while the animation's happening, because I know I'm putting transitions on them, but even if I have a transition running on something, the width of it can get screwed up. I could do something where the positioning of it gets changed, but then the whole, like, everything's gonna sort of screw up. Laser Mr. Magoo, do they have both forms on the page at the same time? No. The idea is that it's one or the other. So they are gonna, like, the second one gets hidden away and stuff, while it's changing. So like you won't actually see this. Eventually it'll probably end up being a display none on it once I'm done with the whole thing. Because the main thing is before, like, okay, let's just try. If I do login, what state are we in right now? We're in the login state. So if I'm in .create .login, transition transform x 100%. I'm just going to do 25%. I want to show you what I'm talking about. Whatever. I'm not even going to animate it right now. Oh, did I screw those up? Isn't that in? 1 second. Oh, transition. Kevin. Transform. Translate X. There we go. So see, it's moving over when I do that, but when I sign in, it's still going to smush. Or it's also the class is changing on there too. Okay, that makes it even harder. This is harder than I thought it would be. But you can see like it will actually smush. You can see it's smushing and growing. The translate's just visually moving it on the page. Oh, I don't want it at this. I have it the wrong way around. This should be. Oh no, I messed up my states. They're backwards right now. So this would be. Did I call it login? I did. Login.login. Good class naming, Kevin. So if I click that, see how it's jumping over, but even once it jumps over, it still gets like a little weirdly smushed. Transition, translate, 1000 milliseconds, or probably faster, eh? 500 milliseconds, ease out. So when I click that, it should not jump. I also, like, the login here is terrible. This is why you shouldn't use classes for this. And it's not moving. Oh, I know why. It's really screwed up. Alright, I thought this would be an easier part. We'd also want to reduce the opacity on them. It's just jumping over though, it's not... Guys... It's still jumping though. Oh. Because these aren't the state ones. There we go, okay, so it's actually working now. You can see it slowly moves over that way, but it's still shrinking as it moves, which is really awkward. Yeah, we might have to play with something there. We're gonna have to do a bit more work in the JavaScript than I'd originally planned, but then we could also say that the opacity goes to 0, and so I'm transitioning that, and I'm also transitioning the opacity, we'll say 350 milliseconds linear. So at least... There we go. So it like fades out at least. It's better than nothing. And then here, this would be my create. This is a mess. I'd probably make these a lot more though, right? Like 50. screwed up something there, but whatever. I'm not too concerned with this stage of things. It's never going on top of anything, is it? I don't need... Oh, I see it appearing there. We'd have to play with these animations. I might have to... Or I could do an animation delay and stuff when it's switching the other way. Oh, what a mess. Oh, I can't give them a fixed height either. Because, yeah, if I gave them a fixed height, it would, again, I sort of lose some of the responsiveness that I need for them. Was that sign up? Did I do it like that? Or is it... Create state, login state. Oh, yeah, sorry. Thank you. This should be create state, and then this is sign up. Yeah, okay, thank you. It looks like crap, but at least it's working. I think what I'm going to have to do is, when we click on the button, we're going to have to get... I'm going to have to get the width of this element, and then set that as its width. So when the animation happens, it just slides off and it doesn't start crumpling down. And we're also going to set that width on this, like the same width that we got from that will be set on this one, because they should have the same width in both positions. And then by doing that, when that one moves in, it's not going to like grow as it moves in. It's just going to come in at the right size. Thank you for the spelling there, Kartok, or for the class naming. I do think I would switch a lot of these classes to data attributes as well. The one thing I'm going to try, because I don't know how this is going to look, and we have a lot. I thought this would be a lot faster than what it is, but anyway, we'll see if we actually finish this. I'll take your votes on if we're going to finish this. On my, where's my teal background? Oops, teal. If I give this a background image URL, I'm just going to use a unsplash hit 100. Gotta spell things properly. Because I don't even know if this is going to do... Unsplash it. That should work, no? Did I not save? There it is. Okay. So what if I do a background attachment fixed? Is this going to actually do what we think it will? Yeah, that's cool. Okay, that's easy. That's so much fun that you can do that. I don't know if this would work. Well, I mean, if you're on iOS, I guess you're getting the mobile view anyway, just because I think they disable background attachment fixed on iOS. If you don't need commas, not commas, quotations on a URL unless there's a space in the file name. It's probably a good idea to always have it. But like say you had like my image.jpg, if it's in quotation marks, you can actually put a space there and it's going to work. You don't need to... I found that the hard way with teaching students who always put spaces in their file names. But yeah, you don't need the quotation marks. JTom425. I'm more of a content creator than an educator now, and consultant, I guess, rather than a full-time dev anymore. Actually, I was teaching in the classroom for 5 years, and now I mostly teach online. So we're not done. The animation needs I'd say the animation needs some tweaking, but at least it has sort of the right style, I guess, to it. We're going to have to do something to lock these positions in. The button's going to be interesting. I think I'm just going to have two spans that are within my button. And obviously, like, the text here is going to have to update, but that would just... Actually, I think even in here, if we look at theirs, the text slides off and new text comes in. I'm a little bit not sure about the best way to do it. But there is, I forget the name of it. There's a way to check for when animations finish. So we could check for when, like if I do a transition on something, we could check for when that's done, and then throw a display none on it, so it's not in the DOM anymore. That might be the best thing to do. Except that won't work. I guess a display. I will play with something to make it disappear. Because if I do a display none and then we try and animate it back in, it's already out of the DOM. I don't want to have to delete. Like if it's two different pieces of text. We'll figure something out. The button's the easiest one. I'm just gonna have two spans in there. One of them's they just move around, and yeah, overflow hidden. Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. I think this part. The hardest thing is going to be getting the. And actually, even setting widths on this might be hard if I follow their exact design, just because like this is wider than over here. Actually, it's not that bad. If I go to this side, is it the same here? We don't notice it here, which is why I don't think I did it. Actually, this looks a little wider because it's 4 columns, I guess. I might not. Anyway, we'll see. I might not copy their design exactly, but I think we could even do that where like we have a. This could even have a width that's 100%, and then this is a smaller width or something. I don't do enough animations and transitions and stuff, so... Oh. Avi challenged me to recreate this. There's lots of little fun things here. Oh. Some of these aren't that hard to do. It's fun though, eh? This is probably the hardest one. It's not even... Oh, that's... It doesn't completely follow with my mouse. Oh, does it wind up and then release? If I do it a lot and then I go off, it releases? So it's like winding up a toy and then it... Yeah, that's the hardest one, because these just spin around. And they sort of sort themselves out after. Cool. That's a good question. Let's go take a look. I have a feeling, yeah, it's just SVGs like crazy. Lots of SVGs. That's what I sort of assumed. If it was with Canvas, I mean... Actually, this would be a lot easier with a Canvas though, wouldn't it? I don't know if you can see everything. Let's get it all on screen. It's a button. I'll click on it in a second. Span, SVG, path. Is it just one SVG? Oh, they're there. Okay, yeah. It's just all, even these are, this is just divs. What if I click on it? What happens? Oh! Okay, that just... Okay, what about these? Ha! That makes things a little more complicated. That would be doing something, well, something like this where they actually completely change is a little bit different, but something just with that. I'm wondering if you're using something other, like if you're writing, would it be Pug? You could probably do something where you get all the elements you need really fast, and then I don't. Yeah, this clicking thing just makes life a lot harder. But before that, it wasn't too bad. Things like that are fun. I mean, imagine this is your job though. Like, I mean, you're working for Google, so I guess sometimes you get some cooler stuff. But it's just like, let's just make this funky page that does really fun things. That's like most people would do as a challenge to themselves, and like that's literally your job is to do that for the website. You can do the live stream, Brent, if you want. I'll watch you do it. All right, so I think I am going to end that one there. I said that it would be a short one, and I do have some other stuff to do today, so I'm going to let you guys go. I probably won't be on Thursday, but I'll post on my Discord whether or not. I'll post on Twitter too, probably, if I'm going to miss it. We'll see if I'm on schedule, because tomorrow I'm out of town. I have to go for a drive and get my winter tires put in my car, and they're stored far away. So I have to go get my winter tires and get them on my car before it starts snowing. And so I'm missing pretty much a full day of work. And because of that, I might not be able to. So we'll see how that goes. But thank you guys all for being here. Sorry, it was a little bit of a messy live stream. But I thought we'd be a little further along, but I'm kind of happy. The background image actually has such a big impact on this, going from like, oh, it's okay, to like, that's actually kind of cool, because you're more focused on the background image than you are like the crap that's going on with these forums. So yeah, if you want to join in the Discord, come and join us over there. It's always a lot of fun, lots of good discussion. It's gotten busier there with all the new people jumping in with the course. And yeah, we're going to keep going with this on the next one. I don't think I'm going to get like 100% functionality or perfection out of it, but we'll probably try and get a few better practices going on than what I have now, because it is a big mess with all these class names and bad names. I think we'll switch out some stuff for data attributes instead of just classes, because I think it makes more sense on that side of things. And we'll try and the next one, I think I'll do that, and then I'm going to try and fix this issue with these growing and shrinking things. I don't even know if my approach to it is the best idea, but I think it's the one that would be the easiest to implement. So that's, that's always a good thing to have easy things to do. I also, thinking about it, I can see some problems that it might cause. So I think it's gonna be harder than I think, but it sounds easy in my head when I think about it. So we'll see how that goes. And then we might have one other one where we focus on this area and just getting the text to come in and out. And then, of course, there's a community challenge. So we'll have to decide, too, if we're going to take a break from this, do the community challenge, and come back to this. I think I'll finish this and then do the community challenge, but we'll see. Make it all a big GIF. That's all. That's what Flash was amazing for, right? You just made stuff look good and people could still use it. Can I do that for the community challenge? We just power up and, we said 90s, we'd say early 2000s, late 90s. We could just make a Flash site, right? Get some action script going. Flash wasn't right. Was it, when was Flash? Was it 2000? I just remember it, like, I just clump all those old stuff back then. But yeah, I guess late 90s was definitely not Flash. Flash was more. It was in 99? I remember doing some Flash stuff. I don't remember what year I did. I never did a lot of Flash. I was pretty terrible with it. I'm trying to think the first website. I remember one of the first websites that I did that was a Photoshop thing that I sliced up, which would have been 96, 97, 90. Probably that, like 97, I'm thinking. It's probably when I did that one. I was super proud of that site. It probably, I wish I could find it. I tried looking for it and it's dead, and I don't have the files from it anymore. But man, like, I was super proud of that site. Oh, Shockwave, yeah. Java applet. Man, the web was so different. And it's not even that long. Well, it's 20 years, but still, like. All right. I'm going to say bye to everybody for real this time, and I'll see you probably next Monday, is my guess. But if I get more work done than I think I'll get done this week, then I'll see you earlier. I will. Actually, the YouTube video will be going up on Wednesday, but if you guys have been hanging out in the live streams, it's just a cut-up version of the front-end mentor that I did with over 2 live streams. So the week after that, there'll actually be new content on YouTube for the first time in like a month. So that should be fun too. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye. And I have to find my end button. I don't know where it is. There we go. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming. Oh, what do I use to compile SCSS? Depends on what I'm doing. I'll answer that quick just before I go. If I'm doing really quick YouTube stuff, I'll use Live SAS compiler in VS Code, but that doesn't work with the newest one. I tend to use pre-pros for everything these days just because it's so easy and I like GUIs. And it works with Dart SAS. pre-pros. And then there's also just setting it up. I have, if you want, it's old now, so I don't know, but YouTube, Kevin, Sass. That's not me. I have a video where I do or is it my gulp? Kevin Sass gulp. There it is. I set up Sass with browser sync in that one as a gulp build, so I mean something like that would work. If you don't mind using gulp, you could set that up. It's using gulp v4, which a lot of people run into issues with, so at least it's the newest version of gulp. But it was the older version, so you might have to make some changes, but at least if you're doing that, you'll be using npm, so you'll be able to have Dart Sass at least. I don't know if gulp, I mean, there's other ways of doing it. Is he raiding? I didn't even look. I just got a question right at the last second. Let me see if there's anybody I know online. Oh, I could do a raid. 1 second. I could raid Florin again. He's online. 1 second. I just want to check. I'm trying to think. I mean, there's so many different. It depends what you're doing to do it. I've been using pre-pros for everything lately because it's so much easier for me, and I don't work in teams, so it's the simplest thing. But there's so many other ways of setting stuff up. I think gulp is still around. Just you hear about it a lot less. But Node Sass, I think Nodes, if I remember right, Sass. What's Sass's Sass lang? Is it in their news? Where do they talk about it? I heard somewhere that it was on their Twitter, something about or is it libsass? They were talking something about not supporting Ruby Sass is gonna die. Libsass is always, I don't know what's happening with Node Sass. Maybe other people would know. Yeah. All right, we'll go raid. I think some people dropped off, but we'll go raid Florin. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to be looking into it a little bit more because I'm gonna be. I'll have a better answer as far as Sass goes. I'll have a better answer for Sass once I dive back into it once CSS Demystified is wrapped up. I'm going to be doing a deep dive and seeing what the best thing is, just because since I've really been, the last time I did the last few projects that were in teams, I didn't have to worry about it. I just used their builds. And so I'm going to dive in and see what the best situation is now with the whole. You can use post CSS with gulp, but you don't have to use gulp to use post CSS. Post CSS is awesome. It's amazing. Anyway, I'm going to have to go. So let's go raid Florin. And I'm going to start the raid. And so yeah, we'll go raid Florin and see what he's up to. And then I'm going to jump off and get some actual work done. And not that this wasn't work. This was fun. I'm happy with the progress that we made. And then we'll see in the future. Or I'll see you next Monday. Maybe Thursday, maybe Monday. We'll see. There we go. Bye again. Second time, bye. Third time. See you guys.